Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Have a lot of fascinating things to share with you guys in this video. Earth now has a new giant crack following the massive 8.8 Mega Quake that occurred a few days ago. We're talking 5-6 days ago. Now there's a leaking fissure, and not just a small one. We're going to come back and take a much closer look at that. I've also got crazy skies to share with you guys. An incident that occurred down in Brisbane. We talked about that yesterday and in the live stream yesterday. Very fascinating skies above Brisbane. We're going to revisit that area as something else mysterious has turned up in the Brisbane area. But first, I want to give you guys a quick update on the wildfire situation up in the Grand Canyon. We get smoke, believe it or not, down here in the Phoenix area from the massive wildfire that's covered 114,000 acres as of today. There's 1,200 personnel trying to get this wildfire under control. I've got a live cam right here. You can see the smoke across the Grand Canyon right there. See, it's kind of hard to miss. And you can even see the smoke early in the morning. I was looking at this morning, and the smoke was kind of lingering around down inside the canyon itself. This is always a topic of discussion, at least with me and some other colleagues. We always discuss, how did the Grand Canyon actually form? We'll talk about that someday. But yeah, first of all, here's the video update that I've got from this location. I've got like 1,000 windows, so bear with me, guys. I've got a lot of cool things to share with you guys in this video, so don't go anywhere. Here we go, the Grand Canyon update. For those of us out here in Arizona, there are days when the smoke travels all the way down from northern Arizona to Phoenix. And it did not too long ago, and our air quality was at like 500, the top of the charts. This is called the Dragon Bravo wildfire up in northern Arizona. Hey, there's my moderator. What's going on, guys? Michelle, Lisa, Angel. Hey, everybody. Good to see you in the chat room. There's my friend Graham, Memory. Where's Melody at? Is she in there today? I don't see Melody yet. But anyway, here we go. Back up to the Grand Canyon. I've got a Texas meteor to share with you guys too. An object caught flying through the Texas sky. But first, look at the smoke billowing. I mean, this has absolutely gotten out of hand up here. Here's what's going on. This has been going on for 29 days. 1,214 personnel trying to get this thing under control. And as of today, after trying to get this thing under control for 29 days, there's 9% containment. 9%. There aren't wildfires up in the Grand Canyon area that often, but as you can see, this one here is really gotten out of hand. And you can see the smoke this morning down inside the canyon. There you go. I know it's kind of grainy, but that was the best the camera could do. Look at the smoke lingering down inside that giant crack. We're going to another location where there's a new crack that's been formed. Makes you wonder if that's how the Grand Canyon formed. Possibly from a big mega quake. There's a super volcano just north of the Grand Canyon that nobody really talks about. But we'll talk about it one of these days, but not today. I've got too many other things to talk about in this video. But here's the map. Once again, I think I have another map right here that just shows, and you can see some of the other wildfires in the area. Up here, that's the 2006 wildfire. These little dark areas are older wildfires. This one here dwarfs all of the recent wildfire activity up there, and it's still continuing today. 114,000 acres. Unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, the 8.8, sixth largest in the last 125 years over off the coast of Kamchatka. Well, I was looking at this video today by East to West, and I was just looking for updates, and I know they're saying that there could be an even bigger earthquake over here in this ongoing swarm. There was just a 5.2 right here as I was getting ready to do this video. And as you can see, the earthquakes are stacked on top of each other. Last night, there was a 7.0. I believe it was downgraded to a 6.9. From what I understand, that created a tsunami that you're going to see in this video down in the Kuril Islands, about 400 miles to the south. But do you see anything interesting with this still image right here? When I first looked at it, I'm like, wait a minute, are there one or two volcanoes erupting over here? So here's what I did. I went to, right here, Google Earth. We're going to check out some other locations on Google. Here's the volcano that's erupting. And this is where the crack is. It's getting bigger. It's happening right now as I do this video. So I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, wait a minute. There's multiple plumes there. I even put it on the photo that I'm sharing with you guys. And this spans over an area, over probably 20 miles or so. There's a fissure there that opened up. And not only is the volcano erupting for the first time in over 600 years in recorded history, now there's a crack that's opened up and it's leaking. How much bigger is it going to get? Let's put it this way. If the earthquake activity continues and there's another 8.8 earthquake over there, then it obviously will get bigger, and we could see even more earthquake or more volcanic activity. We're probably going to see more volcanic activity as the sun picks up, the sun energy, and it's going to pick up. Hey, Tina Valco, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. That's super cool. Saw that bright yellow come through the chat room. Check this out, guys. Here we go. I'm going to zoom in. I've got some incredible photos to share with you guys and videos. I've got an update on the Interstellar Traveler. I think it's an alien ship. I really do. And I'm going to let you guys decide when I share the update with you guys. Here's the video footage of the giant fissure over here. And I've got some other video footage as well. Yeah, I've got an update on the Interstellar Traveler. You guys are going to, I think you guys will see the way I've been seeing this now for the last several weeks. This isn't a comet. There's no way. It's something else. It's something else. I think we're being visited. I really do. Stick around. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. Okay, the massive earthquake and swarm has caused a crack to open up over here. And it's the first eruption in at least 600 years of this volcano. But there's massive cracks that have opened up, and as you saw in the photo, there's multiple plumes. Here we go. Look at the earth leaking there. This is the fissure that runs all the way across part of the island over there, and it's getting bigger. Look at the steam just billowing out of that. That's a new fissure, big crack that opened up as a result following the 8.8 earthquake. There they are, look. That's what caught my attention. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not the caldera of the volcano. Of course it's not. It's a big crack. And the earthquake created a tsunami. I mean, it just created a big mess out there in the Pacific. And I don't think it's done yet. Obviously, it's not. There was a 7-pointer last night. They say it was downgraded to a 6.9, but it's close enough. I mean, that's still a strong earthquake, a 6.9. Look at this. Look at all this activity. It looks like the crack is growing. It's getting bigger. Are you serious right now? Here's some of the smoke and ash plume coming out of the caldera. That's why it's a little darker color. So that's where the volcano is erupting. But again, the earth is leaking over there, literally leaking. Ash and smoke and steam and sulfur. I mean, it is one big mess. One big mess. Look at that. Are you serious right now? Hey, Graham, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in the house. Is the whole Pacific plate simply about to sink? I hope not, Graham. They say there was a lost continent out there, a lost continent called Mu. Have you guys ever heard of that? M-U, out in the middle of the Pacific. That's what they say. It's strictly hearsay. I wasn't here millions of years ago, so I can't confirm or deny whether there was a lost continent out in the middle of the Pacific called Mu. Don't know, guys. I wasn't here, but that's what some people say. Look at all the plumes over here. Are you serious right now? What a mess. You're going to see a tsunami right down here in the Kuril Islands. Let me take you to the location. Right down here, about 500 miles, 400 miles south of the epicenter of the ongoing swarm and the Mega Quake. Here we go. Check it out. Tsunami, Kuril Islands. Watch the water start to go up the side of well, it's a mountain here along the edge of the island. Check it out. Look at the water coming in hot, coming in fast. And this is why the Pacific Ocean right now, look at this. This is why it's everything's all stirred up. Everything's a mess. Look at it trying to climb up the steep. I mean, that's over 100 feet tall along the side there. It has no problem getting up the side. In fact, it did. Got all the way up over the top. See how the water is just kind of stirring? It's all stirred up. It is all stirred up. Look at the water there. Wow. Making its way. The dog took off running. Didn't want no part of it. And from what I understand, that was following the 7.0. 6.9 it was downgraded to. Here's a close-up view of some of this activity. That's the crack part, not all of it, just part of the crack in the ground. Okay, so we have a situation unfolding. It's been unfolding for a while. And there's talk that there could be a bigger earthquake over here in this area of the ongoing swarm. They say that the 8.8 may not be the biggest one yet. So they're anticipating even more movement. And as Graham implied, is the Pacific plate sinking entirely? Let's hope not. I mean, I don't have any way to confirm or deny that either. But it's obviously moving. And it's moving so much that it's cracking the ground. And it's setting off volcanoes. I mean, that volcano hasn't erupted in over 600 years. It's never erupted in modern times. We saw the large 7-pointer up here in the Aleutians of Alaska. There are currently 50 volcanoes, a little over 50, in the Aleutians erupting right now as I do this video. So a lot of activity going on, guys, and we are just getting started. So this is definitely right now the hot spot on Earth. There's more volcanoes waking up literally right now as I do this video. If you guys saw something going around last night about an island, in fact, I'll show you where it's at. Down here in St. Lucia. Where is St. Lucia? Down here by... Yeah, there it is, right there. St. Lucia. There you go. If you guys saw a video going around about St. Lucia, and there's only one volcano on St. Lucia, I believe. Yeah, right there. It's a little volcanic island, but it's not active. There was some talk going around about a volcano erupting on St. Lucia, and that's not true. It didn't erupt. So there's another earthquake in the middle of Kansas. Are you serious? Yesterday when we did the live stream, there was an earthquake in the middle of Kansas. Today when we're doing the live stream, an earthquake in the middle of Kansas. You can't make this stuff up. The seismographs over in Yellowstone are back online. Let me show you guys real quick. They don't look like the same seismographs, though. I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, but the seismographs are up and running. But here's the thing. There's no data on any of these seismographs. I don't think these are the same ones. I think these are the ones from SAGE, S-A-G-E. And I went there to use those seismographs myself. And to be quite honest, since I'd never really used SAGE a lot, that link was shared with me a while back. I got to be honest, it was a bit confusing, It was hard to find the normal seismographs that we're used to looking at. And they didn't show hardly any activity. And you guys know as well as I do, this is a supervolcano. It's going to have a little bit of activity, right? It's a big deal. So these seismographs are going to pick up the little bits of movement that do occur up there. I mean, you've got a geyser that erupts up here every 90 minutes, and not just one, there's several. But notice the seismograph. Hey, thank you for the super chat, Christy Missy. Hit the like button. Thank you so much. One thing that I noticed right away, there's a seismograph missing. Look, the one that we were following, it's not there. Is this a conspiracy? A coincidence? Let's look. Let's go back in time. Watch this area right here where my zoom's at. Ready? Here we go. Watch. We're going to go back in time because this is archived data. So we're going to go back to the 15th, which was our last day. 3.2 at Bayview. Graham. Oh, thank you, Graham. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's generate the report. There's the seismograph that we were watching. I don't think it's on there anymore. Let me take a closer look. That's the one that we were watching. Now, if you go up to the 16th, we'll step it forward a day and generate a report. Here we go. It's not there. It's gone. It's no longer on the choices. Let's go to right now, today, August 3rd. Not there. So that tells us one of two things. The seismograph is gone. We can clearly see that's not there. So it was either broke, which is always in the realm of possibility. Any one of these instruments can break. They're instruments, they're mechanical, and they break. Just like cars, trucks, things, they break. Okay, I get it. The needles break. They have moving parts. It can happen. But to be completely removed from the collection of seismographs is a bit mysterious, that's all. It's just not there anymore. So Was that seismograph trying to tell us a story? Me personally, I think so. Absolutely, yes, 100,000%. It was telling us a story. These things are put there to detect movement. Just because they detect movement doesn't mean they're malfunctioning. That's why they're there. I mean, come on, man. I mean, looking at the other seismographs around the world, they're detecting movement from the recent 6.9 that just occurred over here along the coast of the west coast of the Pacific over here in this ongoing swarm where there's, 500 earthquakes? And a lot of these earthquakes are over 5 and 6. Very powerful earthquakes, so no wonder there's a crack in the earth. I mean, this is a serious situation going on over here. And the seismographs around the world are reflecting all of this energy. The dark signatures you see on these seismographs in Barbuda, Barbados, Panama, Turks and Caicos, that's over by the Caribbean. Look at that. That's from the 6.9 last night, initially a 7.0, that created a tsunami down in the Kuril Islands. So there is a lot of energy that probably hasn't even been tapped yet. But looking at more of these globals, Botswana, Bolivia, Ivory Coast, even Antarctica. That's why I like coming to this one here. This one's one of my favorites as well. There's a seismograph down in Antarctica, and right there's your data. Look at that. So these earthquakes and the primary waves and sometimes the secondary waves, but if they're above 6.9, like you can see right here, that's the 6.9 from last night, was detected down in Antarctica on the seismographs. Now, did people feel it? The scientists that are stationed down there? No, of course not. They didn't feel it. But the instruments, that's what they're made for. This is what they're designed to do. Detect energy in the earth, in the outer crust. So just because they detect energy doesn't mean it's broke. It's simply doing its job. That's what a hurricane does. A hurricane moves heat from the equator to the north and from the equator to the south. Hurricanes can't form at the equator, just above and just below. But they have a job. That's what they do. They move heat. Yeah, sometimes land gets in the way, but it happens. But notice the unusual signature on here. That was a pulse. Let me show you guys real quick. This wasn't an earthquake. Where did it go? Botswana, South Africa, something going on over there in China. I noticed an unusual pulse on here. This is right here. This is not an earthquake. That's some sort of a pulse. Now, I remember one time I tracked a pulse from Maine up in the New England area, all the way across the northern tier of the United States over to Washington. And it looked like that. It wasn't an earthquake. It was a pulse, and it traveled all the way across the graph. That was like 10 years ago. But these instruments are working fine. These instruments, I mean, yeah, they look a little wonky. Let's update the page. Like, look at this here, for instance. This is in Indian Meadow, Wyoming. Look at the seismograph. Look at the line going up. Does that mean it's broke? Or is it just simply telling us a story that, hey, man, the ground's moving over here. That's why it's there. I'm going with the machine is working just fine. I've seen how these things are built, and they're built pretty tough. They're inside of containers that are in the ground, and they're covered with lids. They're very secure. So, I mean, it would take a lot for one of these things to break. I mean, yeah, they're going to break maybe from time to time randomly, but it's not like a wild animal can walk up and just start messing with it. These things are secure. Look at this. Speaking of New England, look at this up in New Hampshire. Look at that. Wow. So you can see the primary wave, the energy from the 6.9 went all across the northern tier of the United States. But again, people didn't feel the energy. It was detected very heavily. There was a big presence of that energy on these seismographs all across the U.S., especially across the northern tier. Wow. So that was a strong earthquake. And it did produce a tsunami, once again, down in the Kuril Islands. A lot going on, guys, and it's just getting started. I'm just here to tell you, and I'm just the messenger. I'm observing, and I'm keenly observing a lot of different things around the world all at the same time. The sun is getting ready to kick into another gear. It's going to go into high gear here in just a few days. Hey, Laura Leonard, thank you for the super chat. And when the sun kicks into high gear here in just a few days, in fact, about 48 hours, we're going to start to see this very large sunspot turn towards the Earth, or at least begin to reveal itself. Once that happens, Energy is going to pick up on the Earth, the energy all around the world, not necessarily in the Schumann, but just energy in general. Volcanoes and earthquakes are going to go up absolutely 100%. I want to show you guys a meteor in Texas real quick. This is just some cool stuff, guys. We're going to stay on topic, though. I got an update on the Atlas object. It's not a comet, guys. That is my humble opinion. It is not a comet. No way. Speaking of the sunspot, we'll do that first. Here we go. The dark blue you see on this map, this is a graph of the sun. If the sun were flat, which is not, this is what it would look like. But the light gray is what's facing the Earth. The dark blue is what's behind the Earth, or behind the sun, I'm sorry. This orange patch you see over here on the left, that's the big sunspot that's occupying nearly 30 degrees. Are you serious? That is huge. And it's coming. Oh yeah, it's coming. So when that baby makes itself visible, it's going to send shockwaves through the solar system, Brainstorm inspired. Thank you for the super sticker. And when it does, the Earth is going to respond. Oh, absolutely. It always does. It's going to be earthquakes. There's going to be volcanic eruptions. It's coming. Going to be more to add to this list and quite possibly somewhere else. But I wanted to share that real quick while I saw it of my 30 tabs I have open down here. My goodness. Oh, I got a weird text message to share with you guys. I'm sure you guys have gotten them too. Apparently I won like $100,000. It was really kind of wild. I'll share that with you later. We'll do that last. It's not important. Okay, where's the Texas meteor? I'm going to tell you guys back down to Brisbane too real quick, because I ran across an unusual coincidence that I don't know. I just don't normally believe in coincidences like you guys. Okay, here we go. Texas meteor. This video was sent in less than, I believe, 48 hours ago. Yeah, 8/1 of 2025, sent in by Zach Sewell out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Talk about camera work. I mean, I've got some people that have sent in some very good camera work driving down the road. Be careful taking videos when you're driving down the road. But this thing was moving very, very quickly. He still had the presence of mind to turn on his phone and record the last part of that meteor streaking through the sky. Once it enters the atmosphere, it's a meteorite. Outside the atmosphere, it is a meteor. So there it was. Look at that thing. And you know, that one there was pretty decent size. I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably the size of a refrigerator. Just guessing, you know, it's hard to say. But there were, wherever that thing, it broke apart into many pieces. Reminds me of an event that occurred up in Michigan a few years back. It was a much bigger one than this one here, but people were able to find pieces of meteorite in the snow. It happened during the winter. Believe it or not, this one here created small meteorites above the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Right there is where it disappeared, and that's where the meteorites went forward and landed anywhere and everywhere. They are not particular. They'll go wherever the energy takes them. So there's some new meteorites on the ground in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They arrived on the evening of 8/1/2025. And there's proof sent in by Zach and his amazing camera work as he was driving down the highway. Guys, once again, be careful if you're driving and taking videos. Please be careful. Okay, I want to take you guys real quick back down to Brisbane. I ran across something that was, again, highly coincidental. So here we go. Just real quick, we talked about this yesterday, and I'm not going to stay on it, but just a couple of minutes. But I want to show you the coincidence that I found. I mean, I don't believe in coincidences. So here we go. I just want to share this with you guys and let you see what you think. Okay, here we go. Going back down to Brisbane. Remember this year, there were 3 things in the sky on the evening of July 30th. There were some weird gravity waves, a lot of energy in the atmosphere above Brisbane. And you can see the community over here that says Toowoomba. Okay. And then this thing that was in the vicinity. And there were 2 other things that were in the vicinity. In case you didn't see them, there's the first one. There's the second one. Well, the second one and third one. Well, oddly enough, in that same area, in the same part of the world, here in the last couple of weeks, there have been 2 airplane incidents. And look, near Toowoomba. Airplane went down into a wheat field near Toowoomba. Okay, then there was another one here just in the last couple of days, an aircraft down just south of Australia, not necessarily in the Brisbane area, but there was a plane that went missing flying from Tasmania to southern Australia. And they're still actively looking for that airplane, from what I understand, right now. Just disappeared off the radar. They don't know what happened to it. So odd aircraft behavior, and then what we saw on the satellites, and then the what looked like gravity waves going through the sky on the evening and late afternoon of July 30th. So something going on down there at the bottom of the Earth. It's like the Earth is feeling some sort of energy, possibly from outside of the atmosphere. Maybe it's somehow getting in the atmosphere and it's being channeled to the poles. Maybe that same type of energy is up in the Arctic, above the 60 and 70 degree latitude. Maybe it's being absorbed down under too. Just kind of odd. I found that unusual, guys. Texas Media, Grand Canyon, Brisbane. Oh yeah, crazy skies. Here we go. Got all kinds of stuff to share. I'll share the text later. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, okay, do I share that now? We'll save it for last. I got the weirdest text today. Unbelievable. Oh, you guys want the Atlas update, huh? Okay, thank you, Matt. Hit that like, guys. Hit the like button. Hey, Kathy, new Star Family member. Kathy's an old Star Family member. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate that. If you guys want to become Star Family members, the link's up in the top of the description or chat box. Here we go. I'm looking at a description box, thinking of the chat box. All right, guys, check it out. This is the latest update on the Interstellar Traveler. You guys are all aware that we have a visitor inside the solar system that's from another star. This never happens. It's only happened 3 times in recorded history. And this is the 3rd time, okay? And this is the biggest object to ever be spotted inside the solar system from another star. This video was taken by Michael Jager, one of the best astronomers that I've seen in this field in the world. He is really good. This is the Interstellar Traveler just 72 hours ago. You look and see for yourself and see what you think. There it is right there. It's the object moving through the center of the screen. I zoomed in. This is right there. I just kind of adjusted the light a little bit. There it is. The latest update. It's getting closer to Mars. Here it is in an inverted format. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in even closer. We're going to take a closer look at this object. But even at this range, and I'm not even really heavily zoomed, I just basically condensed it just a little bit and then just adjusted the lighting. Obviously, there's no color to work with. I'm trying to pull forward a tail. There's no tail. I'm trying to pull forward the sublimation coming off, forming a coma around the head of this thing in front. There should be. I mean, after all, it's moving at around 140,000 miles an hour. Let's look. Yeah, last time I checked, it was this. 3rd time recorded history. It's now 7 miles wide officially, maybe a little bigger. But it was moving at 147,000 miles an hour. And there it is right there. So we're going to go in and take an even closer look. You ready? Here we go. Let's go in for a closer look. I'm going to let it play. Do you see a tail? No. Do you see a coma, outgassing of anything? Now, if this thing's traveled from another star, it's going to have more than likely a lot of organic matter to form a nice big long tail and an outgassing coma where it wouldn't be this clear. You can see the shape of this thing. Guys, it's my humble opinion that this is not a comet. Now, are we being visited by some other life forms? There's a Harvard professor that said it. He said it twice now. The last time we had a visitor in the solar system in 2017, he thought maybe that was from an intelligent source. It was also from another star. Look at this thing. There it is. So as far as that being a comet, I don't think so. Nope. That's some sort of a... it's not an asteroid. I mean, we're running out of options. What can it be? If it's not a comet or an asteroid, moving at that speed and then coming in on the ecliptic, coming in horizontal like an airplane would fly. Wow, it's got all of the characteristics of an intelligently designed craft. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I'm looking for a tail. I want to see a tail. I want to be able to say, oh yeah, that's a comet, no doubt. There's just not one there, guys. There's no way that's a comet. It can't be a comet. Because right now, it's not too terribly far away from the sun. There should be some sort of a tail there, or at least evidence of a tail. Because it's definitely, I can assure you, feeling the solar wind from the sun. It has to be. No evidence of a tail. None whatsoever. And right there's an interesting look at this thing. What's that look like? You see what I mean? But that's obviously not the exact shape of it. But again, it doesn't look like a comet. So there you go. The latest update on Atlas, the third 3i Atlas. Don't think it's a comet, my friends. Fascinating times we're living in, right? We may be being visited right now by some sort of intelligent creatures from another star. This thing is from another star, a long, long ways away. And the Harvard professor, not me, the Harvard professor is the one that came out and said this. And he also said that the flight path that this thing is taking looked like it was logged out and it was planned. More than likely it wasn't by accident. That's what he said, not me, and he's a Harvard professor. So anyway, I'm just an image analyst. I'm analyzing this thing. I'm not seeing evidence of a comet. I thought by now that we're into August, even though this is July 31st, it's close enough, you know what I mean? There should be some evidence of sublime tail, coma. I don't see any, guys, so I don't know. In my humble opinion, that's not a comet, but we'll, again, have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. So there's the Atlas update. I wanted to give you guys a quick update on the sun. As you can see, it's already starting to show signs of activity. Here we go. Today we saw an M3, M4 class solar flare. That's the first one in probably a week and a half, maybe 10 days. And there was almost a second one right behind it. So you can see the upward trend of solar energy already. So I'm going to have to adjust the solar flux. Right now it's 148. Probably by the end of this coming week, the solar flux will probably be close to, if I had to guess, I'd say in the 180 range based off the size of that sunspot that's turning towards the Earth. We can't see it yet, but by tomorrow, the sunspot, this is part of it right up here, that's not it. It's right behind that. So we've still got to go until probably tomorrow night before we even see a little bit of it. But keep in mind, according to this graph, this thing is occupying the whole active region almost 30 degrees. Well, in fact, considering that it goes above the 30 degree right there and almost at the equatorial region, it is occupying 30 degrees. That is humongous. And it's in the same general location as the Carrington event sunspot. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to act just like the Carrington event did back in 1859, but it's in that same location. And once it turns towards the Earth, it'll make eye contact with the Earth. You bet. So it's coming. Just know it's coming. We're going to talk more about it next week. Those of you that are sensitive to the Schumann, you can tell today. You don't need a graph to know, do you? There's a lot of you out there, a lot of you in this chat room right now. Today, there was a spike within the last 24 hours that lasted 6 hours. Right there it is. Over 40 hertz, probably up in the 50 range. A lot of people are sensitive to that, and they can definitely tell when the Schumann's up. Some people talk about ringing of the ears. That's your central nervous system. Do you guys happen to notice that? Anybody in here that the Gulf of Earth? I like that. Anybody in here notice the ringing of the ears when the Schumann's up or when solar's up? A lot of people have implied that. Graceless, let's go. Oh, we do have 3K. I'm trying to stay busy. That's cool. Keep it going, guys. Hit the like button and maybe we'll get 4. Who knows? This is the Sahara sand and it's coming nonstop. That's a nonstop flight from West Africa, the Sahara, all the way over to the Caribbean. And you know what? It's been doing that since the end of May, the last, 2 or 3 weeks of May. And it'll do it all summer long. It won't stop. That minimizes hurricane activity in the Atlantic, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? But the dust that it brings with it, you know, people that are on vacation down here, look at the small islands down here. We were just down there, St. Lucia, right there. They had Sahara sand for breakfast and dinner today. And anyway, this is a color version. Here's the null school version. You can see the tan areas are the sand particulates. It's not necessarily sand granules. They won't travel that far. They do come off the coast, though. The particulates, yes, they'll travel 4,000 miles and farther. There's a little system you can see up here brewing in the North Atlantic off the coast, actually a couple. That's the only place they can even begin to form because this sand particulates, they're not going to allow it. So look where they're forming. There's a small area of disturbance right there, right on the edge of the sand plume. Inside the sand plume, not happening. It can't. The laws of physics won't let it happen. Going up to the top of mountRainier. Are you serious right now? 1,256 and counting. So we've got the swarm going on off the coast of Kamchatka. This going on up here. We've got a situation maybe in Yellowstone, at least with the seismographs. Yellowstone's not erupting, but there's a situation with the seismographs still. 1,256 earthquakes at the top of mountRainier. I've been following this for a long time, but I started talking about it when it got up around 800. Now we're at 1,256. Who knows where it's going to land, and who knows what it's going to do. If it starts to see sulfur and steam coming out the top, then you know there's a pretty good chance that it's going to erupt too. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm just saying that if we start seeing sulfur come out the top, then yeah, there's a good chance it could erupt. I get people all the time that send me photos and videos of the craziest skies you've ever seen, and I like to share them with you guys, especially in live streams when we can talk about them. Mount Orab, Ohio, tumble 7/25 of 2025. Looked up and saw this. It looks like a massive dark trail in the sky. Are you serious right now? That's what compelled him to obviously take this incredible photo. Not only 1, but 2. He took this photo after it moved about 10 or 15 minutes. I mean, that was impressive. This is impressive. Christy S. out of Henderson, North Carolina. Skies putting on quite a show here recently. And that's another example of ominous skies. I've got one that I'm going to share with you guys in tomorrow's video. It's of a big oyster-shaped shelf cloud coming in. And it reminds me of when I saw Hurricane Charlie coming in off the coast, west coast of Florida. And the top part of Hurricane Charlie was an emerald green. I'll never forget it. And it was shaped like a clam or an oyster. Oh, it was ominous looking. And it was a small hurricane. It really wasn't even that big, but it was strong. It was a Cat 4. But by the time it got to Central Florida, it was still a Cat 2. And it had that ominous green top to it, like that right there. It was almost that color you see right there. Really weird looking. And then the eye wall went right over the top of me. And it wasn't but maybe 10 miles wide. I was right underneath it. This is Orlando. This is where I was at when the hurricane went over my head in 2004. I was right there where that man is standing. I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at an ominous dark cloud coming in. Central Florida, not far from this guy either. William H., 729. All these photos you see here from the same day. Different people looked up and saw these colorful clouds putting on quite a show in Central Florida. And not only Central Florida, there was a gentleman right here on the same day that was able to see those clouds from Georgia, Hiram, Georgia. Energy shift, 7/29 of 2025. He could see him way over in Georgia, all the way down into Central Florida. So these were spotted for hundreds of miles on the day of July 29th. Here's an example, ominous looking sky here. Look at these things. It's almost as if gravity's pulling the clouds down out of the sky. Looks like something for a movie set, right? Greenville, Ohio, Ray Bear. Look at those clouds. They are touching the ground in some places. It's like some sort of energy is just pulling them out of the sky. Wow, that is one creepy sky. And that was a storm that was moving through Ohio just a few days ago, literally scraping the top of the ground in Ohio. Wow. Sent in video footage and photos. I would have been taking photos too. I mean, how could you not? Tawana S, Tennessee, 7/27 of 2025. Yet another unbelievable sky. And this one stretched for as far as she could see, not only in one direction, but the other. And a lot of times this is a shelf hybrid roll cloud, but a lot of times the real straight roll clouds you'll see along the coastal areas, coast of Florida, North Carolina, and even in the Gulf you'll see them. But sometimes, like you see right here, they form inland. Look at that. Again, looks like the backdrop for a movie. You've got this ominous looking cloud hanging down, being almost pulled out of the sky above a barn. It's like, okay, guys, ready, set, action. You know what I mean? Speaking of action, where are we at? August? Here in a couple of months, Ancient Aliens is going to come out with its fall new episode here in a couple of months, and you'll see me in the episode. Here's another one. The clouds literally dragging on the ground. It's as if something's pulling them out of the sky. Brandy, Lehigh Acres. Ancient Aliens coming up here in just a few weeks. And we analyze some very cool video footage. You guys may have heard of Jeremy Corbell. You guys ever hear of Jeremy Corbell? I'm just kind of talking as we're looking at some of these very cool photos and stuff that we're sent in. Jeremy Corbell submitted a very fascinating video. You'll see that in the upcoming episode of Ancient Aliens. We analyze one of Jeremy's videos. So that's really all I can say. I can't say much more about it. That was a waterspout. Trevana Lynn off the coast of, I want to say, Louisiana, Mississippi. That's out in the Gulf of America. Yes, I got it right today. Sometimes I still say Mexico because I've said it for so many years. So cut me a little slack. Every once in a while I do say that. Check out this. This is unedited, by the way. I haven't done anything to this except put Greg D's name on it. This video he took from South Lake Tahoe. Sky was about as pink as you could make it. Are you serious right now? See a little bit of lightning over there? Talk about energy. Wow. That was one for the books right there. Here's another one out of Ohio. We just saw a storm literally dragging across the top of the ground in Ohio. Here's another one that wasn't far from it, wasn't quite touching the ground. Bobby and Julie. Not sure of the date. I think it was at the end of July. Another ominous looking, and see how that's kind of got that oyster shape to it? That's what Hurricane Charlie looked like back in 2004. But up here at the top was emerald green. And it was a little bit bigger than this one here, and it was more horizontal. It was kind of intimidating for a small hurricane. Got to be honest, it was a little bit intimidating and did a lot of damage in the Orlando area back in 2004. I had friends that didn't have power for 4 weeks. 4. It was a scramble to get plywood. Something as simple as ice. Ice during Hurricane Charlie was like gold. No joke. Especially people that had no power. They weren't anticipating power outages like that. Ice was like gold. The email's working. I just heard a ding. So if you guys have something that you'd like to share, like a photo or a video, you can send your photos to reports@mrmbb333.com. That's the email. If you have a large video, sometimes they don't attach to the email, depending on your hosting company or whatever email you use. No problem. If they won't attach, come over here and click on this tab that says have a large video. I'll do it and show you what it does. It is a Dropbox. Right there it is. The Dropbox I check first thing every morning, and just drag and drop your videos into here, hit send. But the only thing I ask is somewhere at the top of the video or photo where there's that number that's auto-generated, just go up there and highlight it in blue and put your name, date, and location. and then send her away. And then that way, I'll kind of have a general idea, like this one here, Christy out of Henderson, North Carolina. I'll know who, just your first name's fine, and your location. And if you just want to put North Carolina, that's cool too. Just some sort of point of reference so we'll know where this cool stuff is coming from, right? Right on. Thank you, guys, and I thank you in advance. Now, if you want to become a Star Family member, links at the top of the chat. All right, who's in here today? Beans and Frank, good to see you. Google says Gulf of America, and that is right. It is now Gulf of America. It's even on Google Earth. If you go to Google Earth says Gulf of America. Graham Giles, the email definitely works and do get responses. Those responses are from me, Graham. You're correct, sir. I do respond to the emails personally. I check the Dropbox first. Obviously, I can't respond to the Dropboxes, but the emails I do. Yes, I do. I try my best to get through as many, if not all of them, every single day. Thank you, guys. Again, thank you in advance. Alexis Ominous, howdy. Alexis is a Star Family member. Graham's a Star Family member. Hey, Shauna, Rose, what's up, guys? Atlantic Ocean of America, Sumer, BC. You know, I wonder if they asked Mexico, because some of the Gulf does, you know, the Gulf, right as you can see right here. It's along the shores of Mexico. Did they have any say over whether or not it was okay to change it? I don't know. It's all good. It doesn't matter to me. But I will say there is more of the Gulf along the coasts of America than there is Mexico. So, you know, I get it. It kind of makes sense. All right, guys. Well, listen, I've got a lot of things that I'm working on currently. You guys are in for quite a treat, so be watching for my next live streams. I'm working on some very fascinating material that I know you guys are going to enjoy. I don't know if I should show this scam text or not. It's got a phone number in it. I don't know if I should. I probably should, because they sent me a scam text telling me that I won $100,000 and I should call this number. I don't know. You guys ever get those? I don't want to do it. I'm too nice. I'm too nice. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I got a text. It's right there. In fact, here it is on my phone. I haven't gotten one of these in a while. And it's not like about my number. It says, hello, I just recently won $343 million jackpot. And they're just going to give it away, right? Well, if I call this number, it looks like a Nigerian number, I can claim my 100,000. Yeah, right. You want me to post it, Brainstorm? All right. All right, there you go. There it is. That's what came across. Here it is. You know what? Since they're trying to scam me, I guess why not? It says, hello. Don't even know my name, but somehow they got my number. I'm Mrs. Larry. I'm sorry, guys. I can't even pronounce it. Loren West. The 343 million Powerball jackpot winner. Started international charitable donation, and from 2024 to 2025, I will be donating to 100 people at random. This isn't me. This is some bogus text I got today. I don't even know how they got my number. It means that your number was chosen following a year-long spin. I'm reading a spam text that I got today, guys. I've donated the majority of my fortune to a variety of charities, organizations. Didn't say which ones, did they? As one of the luckiest, I have voluntarily decided to contribute 100,000 US dollars to you, talking about me, first of the week. And then it tells me to text to that number, and the person in charge of your delivery, you can talk about your payment. Congratulations and happy celebration in advance. Mrs. Lorene West. So apparently if I call that number, they're gonna give me 100,000, right? You think? I think not. I've gotten just this year, and I know you guys are probably the same. More, hey, Dave York, Star Family member, I've gotten more spam phone calls. My wife gets them too. And that was the first of that I've gotten in probably 10 or 15 years. Came in today. It's all week long. Your phone is just constantly ringing. Graham Giles, data companies sell your data. Yeah, you're right, Graham. You know, and sometimes when you'll be at a place and you'll check out at the register, they'll be like, oh, if you want to give us your email, we'll send you, you know, coupons in the email, stuff like that. Oh, if you'll give us your phone number, we'll even text them to you for your convenience, of course. I just tell them I don't have one. You shouldn't have to be giving your phone number to a person working at a department store, a hardware store where I go buy tools and stuff. What do I want my phone number for? I just want to make my purchase and leave, you know. It's constant all the time. All right, guys. Well, listen, I want to thank all the new Star Family members, and thank you guys for your super chats and everybody for stopping by. It's been a great live. Had almost 3,000 people from what I understand. I can't really see all the data while I'm doing the live because it's over here behind my laptop, because I have literally, let's see. Wish you guys could see my tabs up here. I have 20 tabs that are open at the top of my screen. So I'm trying to keep all this organized with my note card and everything open at the bottom. So I'm over here juggling about 30 things at once. So I apologize if I missed anybody in the chat for any reason. I didn't do it on purpose. Just know I've literally got my hands full, my laptop's full, my note card's full, because I've got a lot of stuff to share with you guys, and I'm working on a lot more. So look for the next live stream coming up in less than 24 hours. All right, guys, I got to hop off here. It's about dinner time. Thanks for watching. Have a super day. And as always, be safe out there.